Bad driver.
Okay, on our way back from CenturyLink Field with our heads down, tail between our legs, having lost a nail-biter of a game to the Arizona Cardinals. What was the final score? 34-31?
Yeah.
34-31. Well, it's easy to get all negative and look at all the bad stuff. So I'm going to try to look at the positives of this game, which it's going to be a little bit challenging to do that. But considering how the game started, being, offensively negative yardage at the start of the second quarter, we hadn't even had a positive yard at all. To have come back and actually been in a position to win that game is pretty amazing that we actually got it that close. With an opportunity with a minute left to actually take the lead. We never did. We never had a lead in this game, but we almost had a lead, but it's all for naught, as it turns out. So I got to give them credit for fighting back, making adjustments in the second half to actually get to that position, because there was a point in which a lot of people were going home thinking the game was over, but they fought back and had a chance to win, but it just was too little too late. But so I'd say that's really the only positive I could say, is just as a whole the offense turned things around and brought us back to where we were in a position to win the game. Okay, so that positive aside, let's look at the negatives. Well, I think when you look at three phases of the game, you got offense, defense, and special teams, and I think all three of them failed at some point during the game. Offense was horrible for the first quarter, basically did nothing, and they actually gave the ball up and led to the first touchdown by giving them a fumble and couldn't get out of their own way. It's hard to believe you go a whole quarter and then some and not get any yardage. That's got to stop, because if we play like that at any point during the playoffs, we're going to lose, not have a chance. But Arizona, got to give credit to the Cardinals, because they came out, they fought hard, they played hard. The defense, they pressured Russell all day. They didn't allow us to have much of a running game. Definitely no running game in the first half, and made some adjustments when we were able to get some in the second half. But they played very competitively, and never once did you feel like this was a team that was out of the playoffs and didn't care. They were, for a while, playing like they had more to play for than we did. But so Cardinals were good. But yeah, the offense, this slow start stuff has got to go away. We've got to find their rhythm faster somehow. Got to play. I think that would be the theme of this, is that you've got to play 4 quarters of good football. You can't play 3 quarters of good football or a half of good football. It's got to be 4 solid quarters. If they could have done that, they could have won this game just barely, but didn't happen. So the offense had a really bad start, but played pretty decently in the second half. Defense was pretty solid in the first half, keeping Arizona out of the end zone for a good while there, but then they gave up. The first score by the Cardinals was because of the fumble. It gave them a very short field they scored on. You just go straight, and that just takes us right there. And then we score. Then they scored their second touchdown. I believe that was the long pass. We gave up like an 80-yard pass deep to I can't remember, Nelson, I think was the receiver's name. That was bad. That was, Seattle was really good before, not giving up explosive plays. Explosive plays being, like a play of over 20 yards or longer. That was a Jeremy Lane getting beat, and then the free safety not being there to help over the top, and it was an easy score. So that was how they got their first 14 points. So that was bad with in terms of the first half defense. After that, they were pretty solid, keeping them down for the first half. But then offensively, was it the first? I'm trying to remember now. Was it the first? Yeah, it was the first half, where that Tyler Lockett play. What's sad about that is it was such an amazing pass and catch. Then he breaks his leg, from what we're hearing from the reports. So he doesn't get into the end zone. He gets to the 1 yard line, and we can't score. If we score a touchdown, if he gets this touchdown on that play, we get a 4-point swing, and then we probably win this game. So there's one play right there that could have made the difference. Unfortunately, not only did he not get in the end zone, we couldn't get in the end zone on 4 tries, which is sad. So that's got to be better, being able to score when you're at the 1 yard line. What is it with Seahawks and 1 yard lines? It's just like they're like nightmarish situations now where you feel like you have less than 50-50 chance of getting in when you're at the 1 yard line. Luckily at 10 and a half, I remember the Cardinals fumbled the ball, and then we got it back deep in their territory. Could not score a touchdown, but at least we got smart and kicked the field goal and at least got on the board. I think we were down 14-3 in the first half. Anyway, so the defense really only had one bad play in that first, giving up that long ball. But then in the second half, when the offense finally is starting to get their stuff on, the defense has a big letdown. And they gave, after we finally came back and got the score within a field goal, they gave up, I believe it was a touchdown in like 5 plays, in 2 big ones, and then a couple of plays there in the end zone. So that was, again, explosive play hurt the Seahawks badly. So that was another letdown by the defense in the second half. And then to close out the game, the defense, it was a tie game. Should have been ahead by 1, but I'll get to that in a second. But we were, at least trying to keep it to an overtime situation. And in the end, the defense allowed Carson Palmer to go basically 40-something yards to get into field goal range and kick it for a game winner. So the defense, did not rise to the occasion to get the stops at the most crucial times, unfortunately. And finally, the last part of the phase of the game where we failed was special teams. Hauska did not have a good day today, giving up or getting a blocked field goal and a missed extra point. That's 4 points left off the board. And when you lose by 3, you do the math, and you can see what could have happened there. So, and we had a blocked punt, which led to a score as well. So special teams, just did not have a good game today either. So, so that's really failure on many different phases that could have, one play makes the difference, where we would have won that game on a tight game like it is on a game winner field goal. You can look back and point at any number of points. We could have won the game here, we could have won the game here, we could have won the game here. What sucks about this is because Atlanta won today, that put them in the number 2 spot. And with our loss now, what that means is we have to win next week, and then we have to rely on Atlanta losing in order for them to relinquish the number 2 spot back to us. And it's New Orleans playing in Atlanta to close out the season. I don't put much chances in New Orleans going in Atlanta and winning that game. The way Atlanta's been playing, they've been playing pretty hot. So it sucks about this loss. We gave up the number 2 seed in the process. So you never know. But Seattle's got to get that win next week. They really got to win. If they lose against the Niners, oh boy, that's a bad omen. But I guess there's still a possibility. But we got to worry about the Lions too, because if they win tomorrow, they too will then have jumped ahead of us. So we're really now in the number 4 seed. We jumped from 2 to 4 in one fell swoop. And so we're chasing 2 teams now to try to get back to number 2. But what does that mean? Well, that means that if we truly did lose the number 2 spot, that means we're playing in the first round of the playoffs, hosting a wild card game. Right now it'd be either the Packers or the Giants coming into our house, and then we'll be pretty much most likely on the road the rest of the way to have to win 2 games on the road to get to the Super Bowl. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough now, but the way they started that game, they really didn't play like a team that deserved to win it, though they fought back and could have. So it's tough. It's tough on a game like this to lose so close. But got one more game, finish strong, and maybe if we get a little help, we could still get that possible bye. But the odds just suddenly fell way out of our control now. So that's it. We got to go and just get that last game and give ourselves a chance. But and then the bummer is the injuries. We lost Tyler Lockett, broken leg. It's too bad there. Losing a lot of potential weapons with him. And then Rawls got a shoulder banged up. I don't know how serious that one is, so that's not looking good. Rawls has started to look like one of those running backs who just can't stay healthy, and that's not good. It's good to see the Chancellor out on the field after he had a brief injury. So I don't know if anybody else got hurt, but those are the two major ones. So we'll see what happens next. But it's a bummer. Had our chances. Oh well. It's Christmas Eve, so got to put a positive spin on this. It's Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you out there. Thanks for watching. And enjoy your holidays with your families and wherever you might be. So Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas from NorCam, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Go Hawks.